Alright, we're back with another session of the council. I did a little thinking, and the only number that hasn't been worth anything to me yet is the number 4. So, Paul,
Finally,
chapter 4.
brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things.
Not it. Well, it's worth trying. I'm going to look for 4s.
This I say therefore, and testify in the Lord,
In Paul's
that ye
writing.
henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk, in the vanity of their mind.
So
In him
1-4?
God has chosen us before the foundation of the world, that we may be holy and blameless before him.
4-5.
Not in the lustful desire, even as the Gentiles who knew not God.
That I'm out of 4s. Oh wait, here, chapter
Because
4.
we look not at the things that are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal.
Not it either. Let's poke around through these for 4s. It's the only number that hasn't meant anything to me yet. Oops, nope. Nope.
Hereby know that we dwell in him, and he in us, because he hath given us of his Spirit.
That's not it either. Okay. Did I do this the hard way? I don't want to do this the hard way. I might have to. Mission, the company of the pilgrims have joined them. Acts of Apostles.
And suddenly there came a sound from heaven like a rushing mighty wind, and it filled all the house where they were sitting.
Okay. Apostles that joined him. So maybe Acts
And
of
he became
Apostles.
very hungry, and would have eaten, but while they were made ready, he fell into a trance. Hey,
There it
there's
is.
a note here. A message from Mother in reply to E. We must leave urgently, but first I absolutely must go beyond the nightmare. Watch out for Volner. He figured out I was avoiding him. Allay suspicion. See you tomorrow evening. Stand ready. For now, let's cease all communication until we meet. Take care of yourself. I suppose this must be the last message. What happened afterward? If it's what I suspect, I fear the worst. What did Mother mean by, I absolutely must go beyond the nightmare? I must go beyond the nightmare. What does she mean by that?
Good question. Gotta be allegorical.
Guessing it's a metaphor. I need to figure out what this means. Mortimer's getting his guests together. I ought to join them so I don't look suspicious.
I have been standing in this room for a while. Ah, and that was the end. Did not understand my mother's message. I could have searched Lord Mortimer's study. Yeah. I didn't understand it. Interesting. Okay, what do I have to unlock? So, You're unlocked. Could get level 2 in vigilance. That would be too bad. 9 points left in manipulation. Check my inventory. What books do I have? I mean, I'm going to be reading 3 of these. Thoughts on art. Nothing on manipulation. Really, subterfuge has been my lifesaver this whole game. I think I want the points in here. Could also use them here or here. I can use them everywhere. Let's try and get a couple more free levels in these before we look at dumping points into them. Like at least 3, so I know it'll only take 2 levels rather than not getting an upgrade. So I'm gonna take psychology. I'm not gonna go beyond this. Alright, 3 books. Got 5. Almost done you. Okay, this. Erudition, yes. And is that logic? What am I close to? I've got pretty close to diversion. Let's take those 3.
It's time I went back and joined everyone in the small salon.
Oh, come on. There we go.
You are expected in the small salon, sir.
Oh, thank you. Although, before I go to that small salon, can I worm around in Vulner's room? Is there anything to pick up? That is a way down. But first, I want to see if I can learn anything on Vulner. Jacques Peru. Already been in his room. Napoleon. He is sweeping those steps again. Manuel Godoy. Can't get in there. Louis de Richet. Can't go in my own room. Cardinal Piaggi. I haven't been able to go in his room yet either. No one's room. No one yet. That's George Washington's. No name. Another coin. The trip was worth it. Vulner. Nope, can't get in. Okay. And apparently I have to go down the other steps. Alright.
Emily, I must speak to you.
What's the matter, Louis?
I have news about your sister.
What have you found out?
Look, I've started piecing together the events leading up to my mother's disappearance and your sister's. Did my mother know about your secret?
Yes, even though I belong to the English chapter, Her rank in the Order gives her access to a good deal of personal information.
Must have been Emma I saw in my vision.
I was given to understand that my mother and your sister bonded during their stay. I've got a question that might seem a little bit strange.
I'm listening.
If I said go beyond the nightmare, would that ring any bells?
No, means nothing to me. Do you mean literally or figuratively speaking?
It might be a place, I don't know where, but it's a lead.
You ought to ask His Eminence. He knows the house and its estate very well, being a frequent visitor here.
Thanks for the advice.
Should I speak to her about my vision? If what I saw is true, she might want to take revenge.
Keep quiet for now.
I better keep that to myself for the time being.
Come, Louis. They're waiting for us.
Well, and there's diversion.
You will pay dearly, Peru. I'm sure you were involved somewhere along the line.
That's right. Pretend you don't know. One piece of advice. Don't travel through France on your way back, or it'll cost you dearly.
Calm now, my friends. Let's calm down. Everyone seems to be a little unnecessarily heated. Don't forget where you are, please.
What's going on here exactly?
Sir Gregory called us together to introduce the last guest.
But hardly had we arrived when he set upon Monsieur Peru.
I know who it is, Godoy.
And what has Mr. Peru done to once again provoke someone's anger?
We don't really know just yet.
I get the feeling it won't be long before it gets out.
How could you dare do such a thing? Dios mío, you are all out of your minds. Really, Duke Manuel? What made you kick up such a fuss?
What? Have you not heard? Well, let me inform you that yesterday morning at 10:22 a.m. precisely, in the middle of the Place de la Révolution in Paris, by decree of the National Convention which Monsieur Peru works for, King Louis was guillotined.
What?
Oh, no.
The King of France is dead, gentlemen. Our monarchies are in danger. I have said it before.
How dare they?
Oh, dear.
Oh, as if it...
Friends, let us calm down.
Don't pretend to be surprised. He got a fair trial. Ridiculous. Bastard. He was sentenced to death by 361 votes to 360. You beheaded a king for one vote. Is that your democracy?
What an obnoxious act. Until this, anything was possible. This political coup will have grave consequences.
France is lost.
Gentlemen, please. Let us take a step back a moment.
In the name of holiness. He was the highest representative of God in France, Emily.
Calm things down. Ooh, I can do either one.
If I remember rightly, what Mother told me one night, King Louis was secretly also part of the Order. I wonder what impact his death will have on us.
Sad news, sir.
With whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
Louis Maras de Richet.
Are you related to Sarah de Richet?
Sarah is his mother, Duke. Gentlemen, this news affects us all, but I must ask you to remain calm. It's not the first time history has taken us by surprise. Let's ensure that our respective countries are allowed to respond appropriately to this news.
Oh, rest assured. The response will not fall short, my friend.
Good for you. Well, Your Grace, here I was preparing to introduce you, as is proper, and you've beaten me to it. I'm delighted that we are all together at last. Our meeting will therefore be able to kick off shortly. I have just a few more little preparations to take care of before you all find out the reason for your presence here. In the meantime, I shall leave you to get to know one another. When you hear
Sounds
the
great.
bell, please proceed to the conclave room on my left, behind that door. I'll see you later.
Could
the
you
door.
spare a moment, please, sir?
I'm glad you asked. I want to talk to you too.
Of course.
Exactly who I
I
was going
heard
for.
about your mother's disappearance.
He looks concerned. I don't know why, but I doubt it's from sympathy alone. Well, let's see what he wants from me.
Any news of her? Have you found her, maybe?
Quick double check here. Journal, vulnerable to diversion, immune to occultism. Okay, vulnerable?
To hear you speak, you seem to know my mother well.
Not really. We met for the first time on this very spot some weeks back. We had a very pleasant discussion. She's an exceptionally learned lady with a good head for business. No need for me to tell you that.
I agree.
Did she tell you about our arrangement?
I'm going to check my manipulation will work. Doesn't actually say.
Absolutely, but I was hoping that you could tell me more about it.
Well, she was planning to sell me a very old book. I will make no secret of the fact that I am passionate about the subject. And when Sarah spoke to me about it, her account literally had me enthralled. I can think of nothing else since. You might have come across some old books in her belongings, perhaps?
Well, it didn't fail me before.
As my mother's got so many old books, I'm afraid I won't be able to...
Oh, it's easy. You can't mistake this one. It's an ancient grimoire, composed of 7 parts. Each one is closed under lock and key. It was made in such a way that if someone tried to tamper with it, the sheets would be permanently tarnished. If you find it, you mustn't tamper with it. You see?
That's unusual. Unfortunately, that doesn't ring a bell. I'll look again, but I wouldn't get my hopes up. You seem very upset. Is it so important to you, this book?
Well, it's the search of a lifetime. What can I say? Every time I move closer to it, it seems to slip away at the last minute. I was very surprised to learn that your mother had it in her possession. I thought it was with a certain von Borchet in Paris. Do you know him?
I do know him.
Indeed. One of your close friends?
No, not really, but we were close once. Precisely over the case that concerns us now, because he claimed to have the book I'm looking for.
Another dishonest person. What can you say? Can't trust anyone these days, huh?
No, you can't.
I hope I've been able to satisfy your curiosity, Mr. Von Volner, and that you succeed in finding what you're looking for.
Oh, and so do I.
And now, what if you told me who you really are working for, instead of keeping up this pretense?
I beg your pardon?
We both know what you're looking for, Von Volner. You're the one who von Burchert was planning to sell it to.
For centuries, all those who have come into contact with the Al-Azif have bitterly regretted it, Monsieur de Richet. You are playing a dangerous game.
The
Please
Elazig.
know that I am working for someone who does not appreciate anyone poking around in his business.
Let me guess.
Ooh, not the King of Prussia.
It's Sir Gregory.
Correct. You ought to know then. He is not a man who likes to be duped. You are walking on thin ice, sir.
Holmes the one who invited him. That's why he was my guest. And again, I feel like I wasted that Devil's Thorn.
There's a pattern with 5 circles on this chest.
I should just have this key. First time for
I
everything.
have no space left. I'll retrieve it later.
It's open. That's all that really matters.
Hey, these look like pages taken from an ancient encyclopedia.
Oh, perfect.
Chronicles of the Amber Princes. As I recall, Dorkin was my favorite character.
Oops. Oopsie. Alright. No. Too early for the bell. Oh. He might not be vulnerable to manipulation, but it certainly works on him. Oh, some shinies over here. Another coin. Could leave here. Or I could have a chat with Napoleon.
Monsieur Bonaparte, may I speak with you a moment?
May we?
What do you think of Duke Godoy?
Well, I'd rather not express any opinion of him.
Why is that?
His reputation is enough for me.
Where are you? Bonaparte. Immune conviction in politics. Okay.
Meaning?
This gentleman enjoys people talking about him for too many reasons. His undeserved titles, more than 10 in just 4 years, and each one more prestigious than the one before.
You don't think he deserves them?
If I had seen him on the battlefield, there might be some doubt. But that is not the case. The Queen would rather not risk losing him, so she consoles him with awards and titles.
So you don't have a very positive opinion?
His coveting French Catalonia does not encourage me to have one.
I understand your point of view. Would you have any more information about the conference Lord Mortimer spoke of?
Nothing at all. Mortimer is very committed to secrecy when it comes to his conferences. But given the presence of Monsieur Peru and ourselves, I think it must concern France to some extent. Otherwise, I doubt he would have invited 3 Frenchmen to his table. Huh?
That's a good point.
Does expression go beyond the nightmare mean anything to you at all?
Well, metaphorically, yes. It sums up the career of a soldier quite well. I doubt that is what you want to hear, though.
Indeed. That's surely not what I'm looking for.
Well, monsieur, if you are looking for a phrase book, Lord Mortimer must surely have one, given the number of books he has. You ought to check in the library of the tower. You never know.
That's a good point. Thank
well,
you.
I'll be leaving you now. Shall we meet up again later?
Wait, monsieur. Any news of your mother?
Unfortunately not, no.
I hope to speak with her about my deal before I leave. Let me know if you find her.
Of
À plus
course.
tard, monsieur.
Oh man, that's one devilish grin. Okay, anything else going around here? Not really. Let's head over to the next room then. Oh, hey, buddy.
What can I do for you, sir? I am at your service day and night, sir.
What if you could
As
help
I was
me out?
unable to bring my personal effects with me, I was wondering if you could find me a few items.
Of course, sir. What would you require?
A little Carmelite water would do me a lot of good. Could you find me some, please?
Oh, the tonics are under lock and key, sir. Lord Mortimer only allows access to them in cases of emergency.
Yeah, perfect.
Listen, I suffer from terrible migraines, and the voyage by boat has brought on my rheumatism. So, unless you have anything else to alleviate the pain, please give me some quickly. Thank you. Oh, and the one from Bordeaux, right? I prefer it to the one from Paris.
Immediately, sir. Here, I hope sir will get well again quickly. Anything else, sir?
Oh, perfect. Devil's Thorn.
I still haven't quite recovered after that boat crossing. Would you happen to have any Devil's Thorn by any chance?
I am sorry, sir, but the devil's thorn may be just a plant, but it is also a powerful psychotropic drug that causes undesirable diuretic effects. I would advise against, sir, taking any.
Good point.
You see, Tribulus cystoides is from the Zygophalaceae family, very rich in nitrates and potassium chloride. It was used in India 700 years before Christ, my good fellow. And I know nothing better to perk you up.
Oh, as sir wishes. Here is the herb, sir. May I help you in anything else, sir?
Nope, I'm good. I will take my leave. Very useful. So I should be looking for Piaggi. I think Piaggi's the one I want. Are you picking out over here again? Yes, he is.
Ah, Louis. Just the man. Good Lord. How did the king come to be executed? I would think that the order would have intervened.
Your Eminence, I haven't been following the case. I'm sure that the Order did everything in its power. Unfortunately, you know the situation in Paris, and, well, it's chaotic at best. Anything can happen in those revolutionary tribunals.
The king is the official representative of God on earth, my son.
Your Eminence, France has become a secular state. The king was just another citizen to them. He refused to admit his errors, looked down upon them, and attempted to escape. What did he expect?
France has lost all reason, Louis.
I invite you to speak about it with my mother as soon as she reappears.
Is there any news of her?
None.
Well, I hope it won't be long before I find her, Your Eminence.
Now you wanted to speak to me.
Yes.
If I say the nightmare to you, does it make you think of anything?
Your question is strange, my son. Difficult to say. Could you at least tell me a little more about the context?
Think of a place and tell me the first thing that comes into your mind when I say the nightmare.
Ah.
Let me think. I'd say Lord Mortimer's favorite painting on the wall behind his desk. You know, that painting caused quite a stir when it was exhibited. It is titled The Nightmare, and it shows a woman lying down with a creature sitting on her, and in the background, a horse. I don't know if it will be of any help, but I can't think of anything else.
That is actually
You never know.
very good
Thank you for that, though,
hint.
Your Eminence.
I gotta go and see it just in case, though.
I was wondering what to think of that Manuel Godoy.
He is reputed to be a very ambitious character, at every level. But his faith is unwavering. He is a staunch defender of the church. You can believe me.
As to his faith, I have no doubt. However, his ambition seems to surpass his morality, and I hope that it will not sully the crown.
You can say that again. The blue eyes of the latest Infanta, Maria Isabel, have left everyone wondering.
Rumors always accompany men of power, Your Eminence.
Naturally. But the number of awards and titles granted by the Queen during these past 4 years leaves little doubt.
Yeah.
So Godoy really is this out-and-out rascal who uses his charm on the Queen.
Thank you for everything, Your Eminence. I shan't take up any more of your time.
You are welcome, my son. I will be seeing you, Louis.
Yes. This painting behind the desk is definitely one that needs to be seen. Oh, go to Mortimer's study. Can I actually get in there? Have to go upstairs to do that, unless there's something in the library. Which I do believe is right over here. Oh, that's golden elixir. I'm full.
Atrus, the Miller brothers. Mother expressly forbade me from reading it.
That's honey. I'm full on that too. Seems there are no other books around. Ah. We're back in painting room. Can't remanipulate the statues.
Devil's Thorn. I'll keep it.
Didn't really take a good look in this room for stuff when I was last here. Mostly focused on the puzzle. But I feel like I cleaned out this part of the room very well. What is beyond this door? I don't think I've been here yet. Devil's Thorn. A book. Jeez. Oh, locksmith's art. That's probably going to give me subterfuge. That's nice. Because I'm going to need that.
A Chinese coin, recognizable by the hole in the middle. If I remember rightly, that's called a cash.
Lots of honey around here. Oh, can't go in there. There's a couple boxes.
There's the alchemical symbol of the earth on the lid.
Oh, apparently I have one of the keys. And I got some Carmelite water for it. Nice. You?
A fragment of amber.
Ah, perfect. Upstairs we go. Where am I? Ah, okay. So his study should actually be right over here, if I remember correctly.
So, what did my mother mean by going beyond the nightmare?
Okay. That's my pathway back down. Now time to explore the floor. Again.
Dante's Purgatory. Why does your mind presume to flight when you're still like the imperfect grub, the worm before it's attained its final form? Charming.
A lot of Dante running around here. What's this?
The Book of the Mortimer family.
Apparently it's not interesting, even though we think he might be immortal. here? No. Nope, there's something.
Which four-letter word could open this chest?
Raisin. C. A. E. Okay. Unlikely to be A, E, or Z. I'm pretty sure it's going to be C. I can probably find a hint rather than hard punching it. There's another coin. Let's poke around and see if I can find a hint before I do this the long and boring way. I was checking out what? 16... 64... 258 combinations?
The Coup de Lance by Paul Rubens. It's a book on the history of the Crusades. I don't think it has any connection with my research.
There's a lot of stuff around here. So that's the nightmare. The weirdest looking horse ever.
That's what you generally feed birds.
I won't take one for the moment.
A mynah bird.
Waldo? Oh no, I want you to keep talking about Waldo. Oh, there it is. I knew I was hearing something. Alright. Okay, let's feed the bird.
Might come in handy. Let's take a closer look. Judging by the shape, I'd say they're Criollo cocoa beans. The chocolate of the Mayas, the rarest of the beans. Some even say they're an aphrodisiac. When a product is in fashion, people attribute all sorts of virtues to it, not to be given to animals.
Huh. Dessert the most in vogue. I don't have time to read these papers. You're Waldo. Sounds mechanical almost, doesn't it?
Sarah de Riche? Waldo, you know Sarah?
What? Repeat that, Waldo. Sarah? What about Sarah? God, what's been happening here? Well, Waldo, is your master good? I don't really know what I was expecting.
Could kill the bird. I won't. Dear Mr. Guidopoliti, I'm writing with regard to the dates of the paintings that I sent for temporary exhibition. Please note that they are part of my private collection and are dated according to the Freemasons calendar in use at the time. As you may well have guessed, you must remember to subtract 4,000 years if you don't want the public to be surprised at the dating of the works. No need to remind you that the Freemasons' year begins March, not January. About the Longinus painting, I took the liberty to have the spear touched up so it better corresponds to the actual spear. I cannot urge you strongly enough to do the same for yours, Mortimer. Counts for the year. Food, dressed stone, Corinthian marble, wood, stained glass, master paintings, fabric, wine, water, powder. A lot of money on powder. Total 360,437 pounds. Ah, most of it spent on the master paintings. Remember to reduce wood consumption next year. Yeah, that's the problem.
No, what have we got here? Oh, it looks like a model of a lock. It's as if Mortimer is fond of complicating things sometimes. Well, I hope I never have to try and unlock it.
Why does that look like a little guillotine that will cut my hand off? Cut Sarah's hand off. Oh, Mortimer. You're the reason she's missing a hand. Or at least that little device is.
The Nightmare painted by Fuseli in 1781. Ah, this must be what my mother was talking about. Now just need to find out what she meant by go beyond. Hey, looks like it's mounted on rails on each side. It should lift up, I think. There must be a mechanism somewhere.
Ah, I see. There's two pulleys. One in that. One in there. Attaching there. Can't really see where it goes from there.
Okay, no mechanism behind this painting. Well, I'll have to keep looking. No. Let's look elsewhere.
Oh. Little turned around. You look very Mortimer-y.
No. No mechanism here.
Guessing no mechanism here either.
No mechanism here.
My guess is the statue. Of course, I am known to be wrong. Like always. The astrolabe, perhaps? Might have to crack this box after all.
Which four-letter word could open this chest?
Let's see. E. E. Alright, guess that's not it. Let's not fall down there.
No, what have we got here? Well, it looks like a model of a lock. It's as if Mortimer is fond of complicating things sometimes. Well, I hope I never have to try and unlock it.
Oh, wait, what's this here? There's the mechanism.
Aha! I found it. Oh, what on earth is this? A ring lock now? Great. That's all I needed.
Oh, what could possibly be the code? Let's see, 1792? No, 9227. Because there's no way wood's the problem. 7, 8, 9, 2, 2. Well, I suppose I can notice something.
It's a complex mechanism. Looks like the third ring is a bit seized up. It gets stuck on number 9. Well, I got it wrong. It doesn't matter.
See, stuff gets stuck on number 9. Random. There's a couple of different noises they make. I was listening for it. It seems like it's random though. Alright. Well, I want the rollers.
Looks like there's a marker on number 1 on the second roller.
So 1-9? Where might that marker be?
A
Waldo.
minor bird.
Tell me the door code. Here I am talking to a bird. Shame on me. Well, Waldo, is your master good? I don't really know what I was expecting.
Move away. Can't take more berries? No. Oh, wait, what's this painting? I haven't looked at you yet.
This painting isn't finished. And it looks like Mortimer probably did it. Not bad, but you can't exactly say it's been done in the style of the period. Coup de Lens by Paul Rubens. It's Christ on the cross as Longinus pierces his side with a spear. Rubens, he was a great painter.
Okay. There's a cross, Longinus pierce him with a spear.
Hey, there are two dates on this painting. 1154 AD and 5154 AL. The two dates most likely relate to two calendars. The Gregorian calendar and the Freemason calendar. A painting depicting the Third Crusade. It's titled Winter Before the Fall of Saint Jean d'Acre.
Third Crusade. Have I used anything yet today? I'm not sure. Can't remember.
William Alexander Mortimer I, the 12th month of Anno Lucis, 5190. That's a funny date.
But 5190? That would line up here.
Damn it. Doesn't work. 5190. I was pretty sure it was right. Maybe I didn't use the right dating system.
Take 4,000 years off. 1190.
Doesn't work, damn it. I really thought I was close. 1190. Isn't the right date when you subtract 4,000? I must have missed a subtlety.
Well, the game's predicted my every move so far.
Coup de Lens by Paul Rubens. It's Christ on the cross as Longinus pierces his side with a spear. Rubens, he was a great painter. Hey, there are two dates on this painting. 1154 AD and 5154 AL.
Okay, so that's the hint about dates. That just says funny date, but there's no further analysis. So if you've got nothing, you know that's a funny date. Subtract, no, let it just subtract 4,000. There's that. I think I need your knowledge.
A painting depicting the Third Crusade. It's titled Winter Before the Fall of Saint Jean d'Acre. From what I know, the fall of Saint Jean d'Acre took place in the summer of 1191. Now, according to this title, it's wintertime on the painting, so it can't have been late in the year of 1191. It must be in the first months of that year, probably in January or February of that year.
Which means it's using that was it.
Open sesame.
Well, certainly hope there's a way out of here.
Let's see what you've been hiding, Lord Murderer.
We're to ask persuade George Washington not to sign the Fugitive Slave Act as it stands. We must absolutely legislate on a national level and not allow every state to choose their policy regarding slaves. It was initially intended to resolve a conflict between Pennsylvania and Virginia. By signing it, we risk legislating the hunting of blacks. More and more men of little faith are becoming slave hunters, and unable to find any slaves on the run, they kidnap the first black they come across, which they pass off as the wanted runaway. The situation threatens to degenerate quickly. Advance. John Adams, say hello to my daughter for me. Yeah, that degenerated pretty quickly. Once I reach you, my hours are numbered. My printing house has been confiscated and I am imprisoned in the fortress of Schleiselberg. If by chance you could intervene in my favor, I would be eternally in your debt. The Tsarina Katharina should not be long in banning all Golden Order lodges from her territory. Our horizon has become considerably darker. Nikolai Novikov. Hopefully there's a caramelite water in here, because I should have grabbed one before I actually solved
Weakness
that.
of the Human Psyche by Guillaume Trimore.
He says, it is possible to drill an idea into someone by constant daily repetition until the mind gives in. And goes on, there are hundreds of good ways to live life, but you only need one to convince the masses that it's the only one possible. The author isn't letting any ethical principles get in his way, is he?
Map of the Americas.
This shows the forces present in America.
Don't have the politics to really know what's going on. Thanks for your services rendered and help in the fight against the Spanish in the conquest of Oran. A ship bound for Marseille in France has been charted. Hidden aboard are a few corpses infected with the plague that is decimating our country at this moment. Be very careful when handling these boxes, because if they're inadvertently opened, you risk spreading the disease all over France. Well, that was what I wanted to click on. The gift was delivered. Timur Shah Durrani, King of Afghanistan and Punjab, of Sindh, of Mashhad, and of Kashmir, should not retain his title much longer. His son Zaman will succeed him as planned. We will then be able to resume negotiations. Political intrigue, assassination. The works. I regret to inform you that it will soon be impossible to ignore the pressure from the Russians. Tsarina Katarina has every intention of supporting the Count of Provence and will recognize him as the regent of the Kingdom of France. Once King Louis has disappeared from the political stage, I am sorry to announce bad news, but expect dark times ahead.
A fine-looking map of the Orient, indeed.
Let us see if you have the courage to face me alone.
This is my mother's writing. I've picked up her trail. What is she up to? Obviously, she wants to lure Mortimer somewhere, but where?
Probably where that dagger is
The
stabbed.
clue she's left for Mortimer is his stone sword. It must be intentional. It looks like a decorative sword, like from a statue, for example. And judging by the state of it, I'm guessing it's been left outside for a long time. I have absolutely got to find out where it came from.
Ooh, the tonics room. Yep.
Preservation using formaldehyde. Just as disgusting as ever. Something strange about this table. What kind of experiments does Mortimer carry out here? It's a dissection table. So Mortimer does autopsies. Here on his desert island. But who is he doing autopsies on then?
Yeah. That's a good one. Immunity science.
Looks like obsidian or onyx. Must weigh a ton.
Probably has immunity to
It's
linguistics.
feathers. Pigeon, probably. A skeleton by the name of Gustav, if the plaque on the plinth is anything to go by. Mortimer's given a name to his anatomy skeleton. That's morbid. Oh, his right hand is missing.
Dear Lord Mortimer, as a grade, I've changed your old lock for one of my invention. Drawing inspiration from your doctor friend, Master Guillotine, here's a model for your new lock. If you appreciate my prototype, it's difficult to imagine how it all fits together. It will be located in the middle of the present door. The aim being to alter nothing of the door's functionality, but to add a bit of spice. Depending on the lineup of the wheels, the aforementioned lock will open or punish the snooper whose faith is not strong enough. I call the invention the judgment of faith because if a snooper is unable to resist opening it, they will be punished. Hope you appreciate the irony of the situation. Yep, I know exactly what that is. Dear friend, who is the most admirable of all the Olympians? None other than king of the gods, of course. Unlike his father, Kronos, he learned to make equal use of his strength and wisdom. Instead of fearing the power of his children and brothers, he accepted to share the world with them. Men fear his thunder and praise his justice. He reigns but doesn't dominate.
That must be for writing the homing pigeon messages. An iron mask. I wonder who it's for. Carmelite water.
Thank you. Be assured of my entire devotion. As agreed, the Vendée peasantry will soon rise up. My network is striving to increase the pressure on the masses. The decision of the assembly, which consists of voting the civil constitution of the clergy, is inflaming the region. The people overwhelmingly reject the priest and swear loyalty to the state. If you could ensure the convention will administer the final blow to the people, the issue will be resolved. Without wishing to direct you, a forced recruitment for a faraway conflict would be a perfect way to rouse people definitively. A faraway conflict. Key with a fire occult symbol.
A chest with a motif representing the alchemical symbol of fire.
Oh, use the left key. And pop it open. Key with the water symbol. Collect coins. A lot of collected coins, apparently. How many did I get? Like 5? Jeez, that was good XP.
A table of alchemical elements. So, Lord Mortimer also studies alchemy? It seems like he's interested in everything.
Yeah, it's just royal jelly. Plans are going ahead wonderfully well. The Coinage Act has been voted. Your project for founding the very first Bank of America should not be delayed and will probably be called Union Bank. As for the construction of the White House, it is still to begin in October. I will accept no delays. You can trust me on this. Thomas Jefferson, Secretary of State.
3 rusty old nails. They're about 20 centimeters long. Some goat skulls, chicken legs.
Now we all know what that's for.
I'm a little surprised at Mortimer. I didn't seem as the type to be organizing little pagan parties, invoking occult powers, and dancing naked under the full moon. I'm more used to seeing cheap charms like this sold by charlatans in Pré Saint-Gervais. Look, a pack of tarot cards. Has he been reading the cards? Mortimer? That would surprise me.
Hmm? Got the cult. Let's read the draw.
It is a typical draw in a line that answers a specific question. To the left, Temperance, that announces a reward for one who patiently waits before taking any action. And in the middle, the Chariot, which symbolizes triumph and business success. To the right, the Emperor evokes a future full of power and stability.
So a good draw on a business adventure. The tiger is dying. On your demand, I have attacked Travancore and personally cut the throats of as many Englishmen as possible, though without help from the French. Cannot hold them off much longer. My forces are rapidly diminishing in spite of your new rockets. Sultan of Mysore. I think I've learned just about all I can learn in this room. Oh, what's this?
Am I seeing things, or is that an actual von Leeuwenhoek microscope? Incredible. Mortimer really is at the cutting edge of science. Even at the Order, it took us ages to get one of those.
Immunity to science. So, got a feeling my build is very good against most people, but not Mortimer. Is that a coin? No. Okay. Go find your mother.
It's locked.
Of course it is. I got a feeling I don't want to leave it this way.
Oh, shit. How am I gonna get out of here now?
Okay, these are upside down now. So, well, I can either memorize the code backwards, or re-observe this and see if it gives me a second clue on it. No. Okay. If I remember correctly, it was 191. Alright. So if I've got one there. When's it going to show me the other side? Probably 5? Do 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 0 to 10. Okay. What would be on the opposite side? 1, 2. Okay, 10 space. This is a 10 space diagram, so it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold on a second, I'm just gonna doodle this down for my visualization real quick. Let's see here. It's 10-sided shape. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Only drew a 9-sided shape here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Yeah, should go 0, 5, 1, 6. Okay, so it should be 6, 6. What goes across the 9? The 4. Six.
This looks like the same mechanism as the one on the other side.
Ha! First try.
Well, I better not dwell on it then.
Sherlock, Master of Escapes. Trait. Master Escape, gain 1 point in subterfuge. Got out his Mortimer secret study by yourself. Alright. There we go. Got to know Waldo. I could have met Peru under strange circumstances. I have not done much with Peru, have I? Excellent. Great many levels. Right. Next. Got 4 points. 3 things in occultism. Ooh, I got like 4 things in manipulation. I'll do 1 there. I'll be able to level that up next time. You require 2 levels. You need 1 more point before you're 2 levels away. So we're not going to level anything up today, but we're going to set ourselves up to get lots of levels in the future. Validate. Alright, and what 3 books are we going for? I have nothing in political. I could have used this actually. Ooh, 1 in science, linguistics, and erudition, absolutely. 1 in subterfuge, that'll save me a point. Guess we're not going to go for that. We'll take another 1 in sciences. Look at 2 science, a subterfuge, erudition, linguistics. Could have really used political and linguistics in that room, but I still got lots of info on them. Alright. I'm going to put a break in it here, and we'll catch you all in the next chapter. Until then, bye for now.